Hi everyone. I'm Jonathan's Media Shack here once again. And for today's video, I'm going to do a double rant. First, I will be ranting on the Really Loud House, and then afterwards, I will rant on the Fairly Odd Parents, Fairly Odder. So, anyways, enjoy this first rant. So basically what the plot for the Really Loud House is, Lincoln Loud goes on new adventures in the town of Royal Woods with his best friend, Clyde McBride, while also navigating the chaos of living in a family with his 10 sisters, and crazy shit happens throughout the show, and that is it. That's basically what the plot for this show is all about. Now, I've seen at least 2 episodes, and God fucking damn it, this show is just as atrocious as the piece of shit animated dog shit of a Nickelodeon show. I'll tell you the reasons why. 1. It is based off of the cartoon show, The Loud House, which was bad enough. And Nickelodeon really had the nerves to make this train wreck of a show, by turning it into live action. Like, literally, who came up with this idea? This has got to be one of the worst mistakes Nickelodeon has ever made, because it was bad enough when The Loud House came out in 2016 as an animated show, and now you're telling me, this pile of dog shit show just came out. This is just fucking disgraceful. 2. The premise for this show is nothing but a pile of bullshit. All it is Lincoln Loud going into mischief, with his friend, Clyde, and things get really chaotic. And, it gets very cringe-worthy to sit through, because of so many bad puns in this goddamn show. 3. The theme song for this show is very god-awful. And, it's too short as well. And, not to mention, it sounds very lame, even for a Nickelodeon show. 4. The jokes in this show is very anger-worthy as fuck. Because, like I've said before, there's too many bad puns in the entire goddamn show. 5. I find this to be one of Nickelodeon's sorry-ass cash grab, and this show had made Nickelodeon went downhill even more, along with another shitty show, The Fairly Oddparents, Fairly Odder. 6. The characters in this show are really selfish, ill-mannered, obnoxious, crude, bothersome, anger-worthy, mean-spirited, and unlikable, especially Lincoln Loud himself, who is the most diabolical, loathsome, obnoxious, and selfish main character ever in this show. And sometimes, they act very dirty as well. 7. I find the writing for this show to be an absolute disaster. I mean, I don't know what the hell they've been doing, but let me tell you something right here, it's very sloppy, and uncreative both at the same time. 8. The music in this show is trash. 9. I find the episodes to be very cliché, and nauseating. Nothing interesting happens throughout the show, and sometimes, it gets so irritating, because of Lincoln Loud or some other characters doing random shit throughout the show. And finally, 10. I find this show to be one of the most disgusting and disgraceful Nickelodeon shows I've seen from 2022. I would rather prefer Disney's House of Mouse, The Flintstones, Sabrina the Animated Series, Betty Boop, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Sesame Street, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, the Mario cartoons, The Simpsons, South Park, and Happy Tree Friends a lot better than this atrocious pile of dog shit of a Nickelodeon show that's based off of a piece of dog shit Nickelodeon show. And, so, for my final rating for the Really Loud House, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 7. What an atrocious pile of dog shit. Next, I will rant on the Fairly Oddparents, Fairly Odder. So, anyways, enjoy. So basically what the plot for the Fairly Oddparents, Fairly Odder is, Ty Turner uproots his life to reunite with Rachel Raskin, thrusting his cautious daughter, Viv, into a new world where she does not fit in. Viv's cousin, Timmy trusts his fairy godparents, Wanda and Cosmo, to help her adjust, while he's off to college, and crazy shit happens, and that is it. That's basically what the plot for this show is all about. Now, What are my thoughts about this show? Oh my fucking god. This show is so god awful. I'll tell you the reasons why. 1. This show is a sequel to the Fairly Oddparents. But the only thing is, the original Fairly Oddparents was a classic gem, until Sparky and Chloe had came during the later season, and that's when it started to get bad. But with this, oh my god, this is such a huge embarrassment. It does not even come close to being any good, because they done fucked it up so hard, by making it completely different. Wow, talk about Nickelodeon caring about nothing, but money nowadays. I mean, I get it, people work for money, but, come on, the way that Nickelodeon is doing, is totally an outrage. 2. There is no charm in this show whatsoever. In the original Fairly Oddparents cartoon, it had a lot of charm in the good old days, but this pile of dog shit had no charm whatsoever, and instead it's full of nauseate and pain. How could they take away such charm from a show that made it so nostalgic, and replace it with nauseate and pain? That's not a way to go, Nickelodeon. You can't just take away the charm from a classic show, you got to put a lot of effort than this is just nothing. 3. The theme song for this show is terrible. And the music itself sounds very mediocre at best too. 4. I find the premise for this show to be nothing but a train wreck. I mean, really, what the fuck is this shit? This has got to be one of the worst and sloppiest premise that I had ever seen, along with the really loud house, which was bad enough. 5. The humor for this show is very cheesy, cringe, and very crude. And not to mention, it's very anger-worthy at times, and none of them reminds me of the original cartoon. 6. I find the acting for this show to be very horrible. Same thing goes with the really loud house, I find the acting to be just as horrible as this one too. I mean, I feel so bad for them being in this train wreck of a show, because it felt like that they've been forced to be in this show, only for the money. Man, I only wish that they would be in better shows than this is just sad. 7. The jokes in this show are rather very stupid, rather than magical. 8. I find this writing for this show to be an absolute disaster, just like the really loud house. What the fuck were they doing while writing for this show? I have no idea either, but this is just disgusting, and shameful. 9. The characters in this show are really stupid, bothersome, anger-worthy, selfish, dull, crude, obnoxious, unlikable, and vulgar characters. Even Cosmo and Wanda had became obnoxious characters in this god-awful piece of shit show. Cosmo sounds even more high-pitched, and annoying at the same time, and Wanda acts more like a nagging bitch. And Roy Raskin is the most annoying character ever in this show, he does not even come close to being funny at all. Even Timmy Turner had turned out to be a bland character as a young adult, even when he left for college. And finally, 10. I find this show to be one of Nickelodeon's sorry-ass cash grab, and also one of the worst shows ever from 2022. I would rather prefer I Love Lucy, The Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island, That Girl, Cheers, Happy Days, The Addams Family, I Dream of Jeannie, The Carol Burnett Show, Give Me a Break, Three's Company, Bewitched, and the original Fairly Oddparents a lot better than this tawdry piece of shit show that does not come close to being any good as the original animated classic show was. And, so, for my final rating for the Fairly Oddparents, Fairly Odder, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 7. What a god-awful show. So, anyways, that's all for today's video. See you guys later.